Yo, welcome to another mid-game progression video. In this one, we are going to be talking about getting your priorities in order, alright? This is your Summoner's War priorities. Now, guys, a lot of us in IRL, we have a little code, right? And it goes, bros before hoes, alright? So in Summoner's War, guys, instead of bros before hoes, it's runes before scrolls, alright? I need to drive that point home, guys. You want to improve, you've got to get the runes, alright? So first and foremost, that is what your number one priority is, runes. And I'm not just saying farm, okay? That's not all I'm saying. If you want, you can follow along. You go to this rune manager, right? You click on all. Then you click on power up level, guys. If you scroll all the way down on any slot, if you see a bunch like this that are not powered up, you need to power them up, guys. That should be your number one priority. You may have a diamond in the rough. So this one I just got because I'm farming Karazhan, alright? So I haven't powered it up. I literally just left Karazhan, and I kept it in case it rolls. In case it rolls, right? In case it rolls speed, obviously. So if you don't have your runes powered up, guys, definitely that's the number one priority. You need to know what you have. You definitely need to know what you have, and you need to just get rid of it when it's garbage like this, alright? Alright, so hopefully you watched my account overhaul video, and in this video, I'm going to basically tell you what monsters you should be prioritizing for what content, and obviously what content you should be focusing on as a mid-game player in order to see some progression. Number one, and it should be a no-brainer, right? Kairos. You've got to get your ass into Kairos for two reasons. Mana. Mana is actually a very valuable resource. You power up your runes, your monsters become stronger. No-brainer. But you get runes, you get better runes, you get more runes, more monsters you can make stronger, obviously. And these runes are going to be able to progress you from one part of content into the next. So when I say Kairos, I mean basically all dungeons, okay? So when you are doing an account overhaul, your number one priority as far as what monsters to rune are your dungeon monsters, alright? Okay, so what dungeon should you be focusing on, right? You may want to know that, right? So it's going to depend on a few factors. It's not a universal thing. It's accounts by accounts, right? So it depends on what your account needs. So for example, do you have a BJR5 team? No? Get your ass into the Necropolis, all right? Get your ass in Necropolis, and you're going to live there for a while until you make your BJR5 team. Say you have a BJR5 team, but your towers are not maxed. Well, what's your AO? What do you need to improve your arena offense so that you can farm arena better, faster, more efficient, all right? That in itself will be a different video, but keep an eye out for it. But that's basically the thing. What monsters are you using in arena offense? What's going to propel you? What's going to help you farm those? And usually it's going to be giants. You need those swift sets for the most part, all right? So then maybe you get your ass in giants, right? Unless your AO is just, you just bruiser everything, and, then maybe it's violent. Maybe it's violent that for your main arena offense, right? So then you get your ass in dragons. So sort of like that is how you're going to decide which one to farm. Now, say your towers are max, you've got your BJR5 team already, then there you go. You just powered up all your runes, right? It's going to show you where you're lacking. It's going to show you where you're lacking, and it'll give you a nice direction of kind of what dungeon to focus. And what you do as you're doing your account overhaul is you build that one specific dungeon team. A lot of people say, well, I want a team. They try to condense the runes into one team to farm all three, right? Which is perfectly fine. It is amazing if you can do that. But you don't have to limit yourself to that. You can just take it in 30-day increments and just say, you know what? From now until next FRR, I'm going to live in dragons. I'm going to live in giants. And just farm one dungeon. 30 days, one dungeon. Nothing wrong with that, okay? Aside from Kairos, we also have the Dimensional Hole. These are dungeons as well, guys. These are definitely dungeons. Forest of Roaring Beast, Elunia, and Lumel, right? So, where which one of these should you be farming? And I mean, these are amazing. These ancient runes can propel your account quite a bit. So I definitely suggest that you farm these dungeons. Now, can you do level 5? If you can, great. You need to be dropping your dimensional hole energy into these. Alright, now which one should you be farming? And honestly, for me, the answer is very, very simple. Do you have a BGR5 team? No? Get your ass in here. This drops Rage and Blade, but basically Rage. The Rage runes that can be dropped here, they can definitely, even just getting a Legend Rage rune from here, then you can re-app it. Then you can re-app it until it's good enough for BGR5. Alright, you want to get into BGR5 as soon as possible. Say you already have a BGR5 team, then you probably are looking to start being focused a little more on PvP, so you probably want to farm Illunia. For me, Illunia is a little better than Lumel because it also drops Despair. I value Despair a lot more than I value anything else that Lumel drops. So this one, you get your Despair, you get your Will, and Nemesis, which are pretty nice for PvP purposes. So I would suggest you guys hang out in either one of these. If you can't do Illunia, but you can do Lumel, then you do Lumel for Will Runes. Alright, now this is if you already have a BGR5 team. Okay, on these, if you can do level 5, I personally have never done level 4, so I don't know if it's worth it. I really don't. But what I suggest is you just keep doing the second awakenings. You do the second awakenings, you farm your skill ups for whoever. Say you did the Bernard, you keep farming Bernard skill ups, and you craft these runes. That's how you get crafting material. So you get basically free Devilmon, and then still you get a chance at these runes through crafting. Okay, so that's what I would suggest. The level 5s on the second awakening units are a lot easier for the most part than the actual dungeon itself. Okay, so that's what I suggest that you do. I don't know the math if level 4 is actually worth it or not, so this is what I suggest you do until you are able to do level 5 of the actual dungeons. Okay, now those are dungeons. Alright, so dungeons, guys, dungeons should be your #1 priority when you're doing an account overhaul, as far as how you should be prioritizing what monsters to rune. Okay, and again, you don't have to rune 10 monsters for dungeons. You can take it in 30-day increments and only rune 5. That way you don't spend runes on 10 monsters, you only spend it on 5 as far as Kairos goes. And then Dimensional Hole, whatever team you're using, whatever you need, rune them up next. Okay, guys, so after dungeons, you need solid TOA monsters, TOA hard and normal. For the most part, you know, if you mix and match a unit here or there, you should be able to make teams that can kind of clear both of these. The goal should be to maybe invest in about 10 units tops, so that they can clear both TOA and TOA hard. Ideally, minimal get to level 70 on both, because you want that Devilmon. But if you get to 70 on hard, you should be able to clear all the way up to 100 on normal. So this is next after your dungeon teams. Okay, you definitely want to be able to get all of these juicy rewards. So this is where you're going to get your hose. This is where you're going to be able to scratch that itch of summoning. By clearing this TOA, you can still summon and improve your monster box, okay, through the scrolls that you are going to get from TOA. Now, after that, it's got to be your raid team, guys. It's got to be your raid team. I don't care if you don't have a BGR5. If you can raid, raids can go pretty quick now without a BGR5 team. 1 minute is not that bad. So you got two options. You get your ass into Rift of the Worlds. You click here, and you just match party, man. You just match party if you don't have a BGR5 team. If you do have a BJ team, but it can't do R5, get your ass in R4. In the global channel, I constantly see people saying, you know, BJ R4, no problem. Why? Because those grinds are what's going to propel you. That's what's going to propel you into being able to do BJR5, okay? So your raid team, no matter what it is, should be next on your priority after your dungeons. After that, we're going to head into the arena. So I don't care about your arena defense, alright? I don't give a shit about your arena defense. Look at mine. It's your arena offense. Your arena offense is what's going to farm your glory points, okay? You need those glory points to get your towers up. It's not your defense that's going to get you these glory points, okay? You can see how many I need, right? So arena offense. It's got to be your offense, whatever's going to help you clear and farm those glory points, okay? That should be your next priority. And by the way, I will be doing a full video on arena and glory point farming. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you slap that subscribe button, alright? Now your next priority as far as what monsters to build and focus on is just get some teams, guys. Now these teams, they don't require insane runes really, and you can kind of use your PvP monsters for, but this is a higher priority because reappraisal stones are that good, guys. They are that good, and you can also get possibly some good legend rune drops while you're farming, you know, especially those fight runes, which you will probably want and use down the road. So you definitely want to have at least these 3 teams. These 3 teams is really all you need, all right? It's really just the reappraisal stones. You're not going to be spending too much time in here, although the reapps are extremely important. You don't need to invest the best runes into these teams, but they are definitely very, very important. So they are next on your priority list. Now, next on your list should definitely be your guild war offense. All right. So obviously, there's a lot of definitely progression related things in guild war. It's like your flags and you know you get your rainbow mon, which will help you 6-star and, you know, make new monsters. But basically your flags, but your guild points, right? So the reason this is kind of towards the end of the priority list is because some of you are going to be in a farming guild. But those of you that aren't, if you're not in a farming guild, then you probably already are able to make everything else before this. So now come your PvP monsters, okay? So after you are done with your main Guild War offenses, you should build about 3, because Guild War you could kind of reuse them, right? Then this is where the fun starts for me. This is where you get to ruin the rest of your other units that you like using for PvP. Definitely Siege. Siege can be very, very fun for sure. It can definitely be a lot of fun. So definitely rune ups, you're basically the units you like to have fun with, and obviously the ones that are going to perform for you, right? The ones that are going to perform for you, and then you too can get shit boxes like this in Siege. It's amazing, you know. Look at that mana, man. 3 summoning stones, amazing. So that's going to be basically it. After that, there's only one more thing to do, and that is everything that doesn't fit into any of these, instead of ruining them with shitty runes, rune them up for world boss. So use those slot 4 attacks and throw them on your leftover water monsters, okay? If you don't see yourself using a certain monster for Siege or whatever, then throw them in here for world boss. And world boss should definitely be the last of your priorities as far as ruining. And also, obviously, don't forget your Siege defenses. There's going to be some monsters that you're going to need for Siege defense that you may not use for offense. Same for Guild War defense. So obviously prioritize those before you ruin up the world boss monsters as well. So that's going to be it, guys. So these are your Summoner's War priorities. If you didn't know, now you know. You know.
Yeah.